Never buy a commercial van just because your competitor drives one. That is the fastest way to burn cash in this business. One of these vans will save you thousands of dollars over 5 years, and the other might just bankrupt you with maintenance costs you didn't see coming. You need to know which is which before you sign that paper. We are looking at the two kings of the cargo world for 2026, the Ford Transit and the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter. Both of these platforms have received significant updates this year, but they are built for two completely different types of drivers. If you think this is just a choice between a blue oval and a three-pointed star, you are wrong. This is a choice between gas and diesel, between low upfront costs and high resale value, and between finding a mechanic in every town versus needing a specialist. We are breaking this down category by category so you don't make a $50,000 mistake. Let's talk money first, because that is usually the deal breaker. If you walk into a Ford dealership today to look at a 2026 Transit, you are looking at a starting price right around $47,400 for a basic cargo van. That is for the cut-and-dry, no-frills workhorse. If you want the passenger version or the high-roof extended body, you are quickly climbing into the $58,000 to $65,000 range. Now compare that to the Mercedes. The 2026 Sprinter has a higher barrier to entry. You are starting at roughly $50,830 for the absolute base model. But here's the thing, nobody buys the base model Sprinter. Once you add the packages you actually need, like the driver convenience features or the high roof, which is almost mandatory for this van, you are easily looking at $60,000, and a fully loaded 4500 model can push past $85,000. But the sticker price is only half the story. You have to look at resale value. This is where the Mercedes pulls a fast one on the Ford. If you sell that Sprinter in 5 years with 100,000 miles on it, you are going to get a much bigger check back than you would with the Transit. The market just values that Mercedes diesel badge higher, even if the maintenance cost to get there was painful. The Transit depreciates faster, it's just a fact. So if you plan to drive it into the ground, the cheaper Ford is the better buy. If you plan to upgrade in 3 years, the Mercedes might actually cost you less in depreciation. This is the biggest mechanical difference between these two. It is literally gas versus diesel. The 2026 Ford Transit sticks to its guns with two gasoline V6 options. The standard engine is the 3.5-liter PFDI V6, putting out 275 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. It's a solid engine. It's naturally aspirated, meaning less things to break. But if you are hauling heavy loads or driving through mountains, you want the upgrade. The 3.5-liter EcoBoost V6 is a beast. It gives you 310 horsepower and a massive 400 pound-feet of torque. It's paired with a 10-speed automatic that is shockingly smooth. It feels like driving a big SUV. You step on the gas and it just goes, no hesitation. On the other side, the 2026 Sprinter is fully committed to the 4-cylinder diesel. They dropped the V6 a while back, and for 2026, we are looking at a 2-liter twin-turbo diesel inline 4. You have two output levels here. The standard output gives you 170 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. That sounds low compared to the Ford, right? But diesel torque hits different. It comes on low in the RPM range, so it feels strong off the line. However, if you get the high output version, you are looking at 211 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque. It's paired with a 9-speed automatic called the 9G Tronic. It's a great transmission, but it's not as quick to shift as the Ford's 10-speed. Here's the reality of driving them. The Ford Transit is faster, plain and simple. If you are merging onto a highway or trying to pass a semi-truck, the EcoBoost Transit will do it without breaking a sweat. The Sprinter, even with the high-output diesel, takes its time. It's leisurely. It's built for efficiency and longevity, not for winning traffic light drag races. Also, think about fuel. The Sprinter is going to get you better mileage, probably 18 to 22 miles per gallon, depending on how you drive. The Ford Transit, especially the EcoBoost, is thirsty. You'll be lucky to see 15 or 16 miles per gallon if you have a heavy foot. Over 100,000 miles, that fuel difference adds up to real money. You are buying a van to move stuff, so let's look at the space. Both of these vans offer massive versatility, but the Sprinter is the king of pure volume. The 2026 Sprinter offers a super high roof option that gives you over 7 feet of interior standing height. If you are 6'4", you can stand up straight in the back of a Sprinter. The Transit has a high roof option too, but it maxes out around 6 feet 9 inches. It's close, but the Sprinter feels area. In terms of max cargo volume, the largest Sprinter gives you about 533 cubic feet of space. The largest Transit is right behind it, maxing out around 487 to 536 cubic feet depending on how you measure the nooks and crannies. But here's a detail that matters: the wall's shape. The Transit has slightly more curved walls near the roof. If you were building custom shelving or converting this into a camper van, those curves are a nightmare. The Sprinter has straighter, more vertical walls. It's much easier to outfit. Now, payload and towing. The Sprinter 4500 series is a beast. It can haul a payload of over 6,800 pounds. The Ford Transit tops out around 5,100 pounds. That's a big difference if you're hauling heavy materials like tile, concrete, or heavy machinery. For towing, the Sprinter edges out the Ford slightly with a 7,500-pound limit versus the Ford's 6,900 pounds. If you are towing a heavy trailer every day, the Sprinter chassis feels a bit more planted, but the Ford engine pulls it easier. It's a trade-off.
This used to be a blowout win for Mercedes, but Ford has really stepped up their game for 2026. The Ford Transit interior feels very American. It's got cup holders everywhere, big, comfortable seats that feel like oversized armchairs, and everything is easy to reach. The standout feature for 2026 is the standard 12-inch touchscreen with Sync 4. It's massive, it's bright, and it has wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The interface is intuitive. You don't need a manual to figure out how to change the radio station. The Mercedes Sprinter interior is German. It's cleaner, more minimalist, and the materials feel higher quality. The seats are firmer. Some people love that for long drives. Some people hate it. It uses the MBUX infotainment system. You can get it with a 10.25-inch screen that looks beautiful, but the menu system can be a little frustrating to learn. It does have the Hey Mercedes voice control, which actually works pretty well. But here is where the driving position matters. In the Transit, the steering wheel sits a bit lower, more like a car. In the Sprinter, the steering wheel is more horizontal, more like a bus. You sit higher up in the Sprinter, which gives you a commanding view of the road, but it can feel a bit tippier in corners. The Transit handles like a big minivan. It's surprisingly agile. You can whip a U-turn in a Transit and forget you are driving a 20-foot vehicle. The Sprinter always reminds you that you are driving a commercial rig. This is the category that should probably decide your purchase. The Ford Transit is powered by a gas engine. That means any mechanic anywhere in the country can work on it. The parts are cheap. You can walk into an auto parts store and buy an oil filter for a Transit off the shelf. If your alternator dies in the middle of nowhere, a local shop can have you back on the road in hours. The Mercedes Sprinter is a diesel with a complex emissions system. You have DEF fluid to worry about. You have a diesel particle filter, DPF, that can get clogged if you do too much stop-and-go city driving. And when something breaks, you cannot just go to any mechanic. You usually need a Mercedes specialist or a dealership. And let me tell you, Mercedes dealership labor rates are not cheap. A simple oil change on a Sprinter can cost 3 times as much as an oil change on a Transit. Also, spare parts. If you break a side mirror on a Transit, it's a couple $100. If you break a side mirror on a Sprinter with the blind spot sensors and cameras, you're looking at over $1,000 easily. However, the Sprinter engine, the block itself, is designed for incredibly high mileage. It is not uncommon to see Sprinters with 400,000 or 500,000 miles still running strong if they were maintained perfectly. The Ford EcoBoost is a great engine, but turbo gas engines generally don't have the same lifespan as understressed diesels. You might get 200,000 or 250,000 miles out of the Transit before you start seeing major engine fatigue. So ask yourself, are you keeping this van for 10 years and driving 500,000 miles, or are you going to beat it up for 5 years and trade it in? So, who wins the 2026 showdown? If you are a local delivery driver, a plumber, or an electrician doing lots of stop-and-go driving in the city, buy the Ford Transit. It's faster, easier to drive, cheaper to fix, and the gas engine handles short trips way better than a modern diesel. The technology is easier to use, and your drivers will probably prefer the comfort.
But if you're an expeditor doing long-haul highway miles, or if you need to carry incredibly heavy payloads, or if you're building a high-end luxury camper van, buy the Mercedes Sprinter. The fuel economy on the highway is better, the resale value is higher, the cargo area is easier to build out, and that diesel engine loves to run for hours at a steady speed. It comes down to this: the Transit is the pragmatic, wallet-friendly choice. The Sprinter is the specialized, high-investment tool. Subscribe for more videos like these.